Kicked out at 17, with just $12 and a trash bag. Now my family wants to live in my $750,000 home after years of silence and lies. I was 17 when my dad told me I wasn't built for success. It wasn't some heat-of-the-moment insult. He said it calmly, like he was doing me a favor. Like the sooner I accepted my place in the family, the easier life would be for all of us. "You're the spare," he said, not even looking up from his newspaper. "Your brother's the heir. You're just extra." I think that moment carved something into me. Growing up, I always felt like the background character in someone else's story. My older brother Nathan was the golden child, the star athlete, honor roll student, family favorite. He had a bedroom that faced the lake, a brand new car the day he turned 16, and a dad who called him champ even when he messed up. Me? I was the one who got hand-me-downs, suspicious glances, and lectures for existing too loudly. At first, I thought I was the problem. I tried harder, got a job at 15, kept my grades solid, even started tutoring Nathan in math when he began slipping. But nothing changed. My mom called me lazy when I slept in on Sundays, even after closing late at the diner. My dad said I had no ambition when I mentioned wanting to go into culinary school instead of college. And Nathan? He just smirked whenever they tore into me, like he was silently enjoying every dig. Things escalated the summer before my senior year. Nathan wrecked his car after a party, completely totaled it while driving drunk. I was the one who found him crying in the garage, bleeding from his forehead, begging me not to tell mom and dad. I didn't. I took the blame. I told them I'd borrowed the car without asking, that I'd panicked and ran. I thought, maybe this would earn me some respect. Maybe they'd see I was capable of loyalty, of protecting the family. Instead, they kicked me out. My dad didn't even yell. He just pointed to the door and said, "Pack your things. You've embarrassed this family enough." That night I slept in a bus shelter 2 blocks away. The next morning, I walked back to grab my school backpack from the porch, only to find a trash bag with my clothes inside and a note that read, "You're on your own now. Learn something from this." No one checked on me. Not once. My mom told people at church that I'd chosen the streets because I was rebellious. Nathan went on vacation to Florida 2 weeks later, posting beach selfies like nothing had happened. I kept myself alive working double shifts at a convenience store, sleeping in the stockroom on cardboard when the manager wasn't looking. But you know what the worst part was? The silence. No birthdays. No Christmas cards. No, "How are you?" It was like I never existed. For 3 years. It was only after I got my associate degree in business through community college, after I'd moved 3 towns away and built a tiny freelance marketing business from a library Wi-Fi connection, that I finally felt like maybe, just maybe, I was free of them. Until last month. I got a text from my mom. Just one line. "Is that your face on the billboard off Route 9? Yes, it was. The local Chamber of Commerce had put me up as a young entrepreneur spotlight after I helped several local shops triple their online sales during COVID. It wasn't a huge deal in the big picture, but to me, it was everything. Proof that I wasn't a spare. That I was more than a shadow. 2 hours later, my dad called. I didn't answer. Then came the voicemails. From Nathan. From relatives I hadn't spoken to in years. All of them. Suddenly warm. Suddenly supportive. Suddenly curious about how I was doing. I didn't reply. Not yet. Because I knew. I just knew. They hadn't changed. They were only reaching out because they saw I had something they wanted. And sure enough, the next day, my mom called again. This time she left a message. "We're going through a rough patch. Nathan and his wife might lose their place. We were wondering if you still had that spare room you used to mention." I laughed. Out loud. Because that spare room? It didn't exist. I bought the whole house. And I bought it in cash. I didn't respond to my mom's voicemail. Not that day. Not the next. Not even when my Aunt Janice messaged me on Facebook saying, "You know it would really mean a lot to the family if you stepped up right now." Stepped up? I nearly choked on my coffee. Where were they when I was sleeping under a bus shelter, Aunt Jan? It's funny how people love to use the word family, like it's a get-out-of-jail-free card. Like blood somehow erases everything they did, or didn't do. I didn't block them. I didn't rage post. I just stayed silent. But silence, apparently, wasn't enough. The following week, I came home from a client meeting and saw a familiar car parked across the street from my house. A silver Honda Civic. The same one my parents used to drive. I stared at it for a good 5 minutes before I even turned into the driveway. There was no mistaking it. And sure enough, sitting on the porch with a Tupperware container of what I assumed was guilt-laced banana bread, was my mother. She stood up when I got out of the car. "Oh my God, you look so good," she said, arms already reaching. I didn't hug her. I just looked at her like a stranger. Because that's what she was. "Mom," I said quietly. "Why are you here?" She had the nerve to smile like this was just some casual drop-in. "I wanted to see you. It's been so long. I thought maybe we could talk. Catch up." I leaned against the doorframe and didn't move. "Is Nathan okay?" I asked. Her face flickered. And there it was. The reason. The real reason. Not love. No regret. Not even a half-hearted apology. "He and Alyssa lost their apartment," she said. "They fell behind on rent. The baby's on the way and they just need a place for a little while. Just until they get back on their feet. Your father thought maybe we could all stay here, just for a few months." I almost laughed. "You kicked me out with a trash bag and a note," I said slowly. "I begged you to listen to me, and you told me to learn something from it. And now you want me to give up my peace, my home, for the son you threw me away for?" She blinked. Like I'd slapped her. "It was complicated back then. We were just doing what we thought was right." "No," I cut in. "You were doing what was easiest. You believed whatever Nathan said because it made your life simpler. It didn't matter if it ruined mine." There was silence. For the first time, I saw something close to shame in her eyes. Then, defensiveness. "Well, we didn't know how things would turn out. You've clearly done well for yourself. So maybe it wasn't such a bad thing after all." That's right there. They abandoned me, and now they wanted credit for it? "You're not coming inside," I said firmly. "And you can tell Dad and Nathan and everyone else that this house doesn't have a spare room?" She opened her mouth, probably to beg or guilt-trip me. But I was already turning the doorknob. That's when she said it. "You're being selfish." I paused. I turned back around, looked her in the eye and smiled. "No, Mom. I'm just done being useful to people who only remember I exist when they need something." Then I closed the door. She didn't knock again. That night I lay awake thinking about everything. The weight of what happened. The fact that they were bold enough to show up here, to ask for help, to act like we were still family after what they did. For a moment, I felt guilt creeping in. That old, familiar ache of what if I'm the bad one now. But I remembered the look on my mom's face that day at the principal's office, when Nathan lied about me hitting him. I remembered how she cried for him, how she never once looked at me with belief or love or even curiosity. Just disappointment. I remembered being dragged from my school, shoved out of my own home. I remembered the silence. I owed them nothing. Still, I wasn't done yet, because part of me wanted, not revenge exactly, but accountability. So I drafted a message. Not to them, to my extended family. The cousins, aunts, uncles, people who had heard their version of events for years. People who thought I was troubled, rebellious, angry. I told them everything. I told them about the car crash, the fake confession, the trash bag on the porch, the years of silence, the Tupperware visit. I even attached a screenshot of the text Nathan had sent me years ago, the one where he bragged about how easy it was to get rid of me. I hit send. And for once, I didn't feel afraid. The message took about an hour to ripple through the family group chat. I had muted it years ago, but suddenly my phone wouldn't stop buzzing. "Aunt Marie. Is this real? I never knew this happened to you. Uncle Leo. Your parents said you ran away. That you were doing drugs. Cousin Denise.